Have you ever finished a meal and caught yourself hungry just a couple hours after? Or do you catch yourself snacking all throughout the day, even though you had a pretty substantial meals? Well, you're not alone. Overeating is not always about lack of self-control. We are influenced by the type of food we eat, how quickly we are eating, our environmental factors. There's so many things that contribute to overeating. So in this video, I will talk about some of the things that causes us to overeat and some things that we can do to prevent ourselves from eating. Hi everybody, my name is Anastasia and welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. If you're new, come on and make yourself at home. Here we talk about everything. You might be drinking your calories. And what I mean by that is if you're not drinking water, anything else that you're drinking have calories in it. However, those calories from liquid usually do not fill us or make us full as solid foods. So for example, let's say you are eating on a 2000 calorie diet and you are drinking sodas and milkshakes and all protein shakes and things that are calorie dense but in a liquid form, you're not going to feel full and you're going to want to actually eat something solid. And even though the calories are coming from drinks or liquid, it still counts as your total amount of calories that you're taking in. There are cases where some people will want to substitute a meal for, let's say, a smoothie, and that will replace a meal. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just drinking your calories in form of sodas and other things that are not filling you up. So definitely make sure you're watching what you're drinking because you might be drinking your calories. Next thing is you might not be eating enough fiber. And a lot of people, including myself, fall short of, trying to get the fiber recommended for ourselves. In fact, I have a video on the channel talking about foods that are high in fiber. So fiber helps us feel full longer. It helps slows digestion. So, the food content in your stomach sits in there longer and you feel fuller longer. So definitely watch for fiber, making sure you're getting enough fiber in your diet. And one good thing is that most fibrous food, you can eat a lot of them and it will have less calories. So like if you're eating, let's say, a kale salad or any kind of herbal salad, you're able to get a big bowl of salad, which will fill you up more because there's a lot of it. However, the calorie count will be lower than, let's say, going for a cheeseburger, which is, it might just be one cheeseburger this big, but it's like 1500 calories. Definitely watch for your fiber intake, as it will not only help you feel fuller longer, it slows digestion and it helps with GI regulation as well. Next is you might not be eating enough protein. Protein also helps us feel full longer. So for example, if maybe you want to have a toast, instead of just having a toast, maybe add some eggs on it or some chicken. You can chop up some chicken, saute it in a pan and add it on it. Or instead of just eating Greek yogurt, you might want to add some berries in there. Just something to make sure that you are getting enough bulk food, but also you're not just blindly just eating calories without being aware of how much you're actually eating. So it's all about feeling full longer with healthy choices. You might be eating too fast, and yes, that does affect the feeling of feeling full. So it takes a while for your brain to and your stomach to communicate and receive the signal that you are getting full. So definitely take time. And I know this is hard, especially with the busy lifestyle that we have. Most of us eat on the go. You're working and eating at the same time, but take your time, put the fork down, chew slowly, And it also helps you enjoy the meal. Food and dining in a lot of places is a whole event. You sit down, you enjoy people's company, you enjoy conversation. However, our society here doesn't really allow us to have that. We're always on the go, go, go. But as much as you can, take your time, chewing your food, slowing down, enjoying it, and give your body time to kind of communicate with itself that, okay, we've had enough, we need to slow down, or if we truly need to eat some more. Along the same lines of eating too fast is distraction. When you're distracted, it's so much easier for you to eat more when you're distracted. For example, and I know that I'm not the only one this has happened to. You're sitting in front of TV or you're doom scrolling on your phone and you're just like stuffing the food in your mouth. And by the time you realize the plate is empty and you're like, oh, I didn't even realize that I have finished eating. If you're eating popcorn, I love popcorn. If you're eating popcorn and watching a movie or on your phone, by the time you realize the bowl is empty and you don't feel full because you weren't paying attention. Your brain wasn't communicating with your stomach because your attention was on something else, whether it's on your phone or on TV. So definitely keep a distraction to a minimum. And I know this is very hard. I know our society and our lifestyle and kids and everything else and work makes it very hard to do. I am a victim of this majority of the time. I always say 80% of the time, I'm eating lunch and, charting or catching up on my notes or whatever it is. So this is advice for myself as also for us all. So we're all learning and growing together. But if we can, we should try to eat slow and also keep a distraction to a minimum. Next is we might be restricting what we're eating. And what I mean by that is we might be, cutting carbs, we might be cutting fat, we might be cutting our calories, we might be cutting down carbohydrates, we might be eating small portions. There's so much that we do to try to restrict ourselves and on our goal of being healthy. But if you're not eating enough, and then you end up just binge eating later on because you're too hungry, then it's like you're on a cycle and it doesn't go anywhere. And the point is not to starve ourselves or restrict ourselves. The goal is to nourish our body. So I always say nobody can do everything, especially when it comes to diet, 100%. So try to incorporate healthy things rather than focusing more on taking things out. So if you like chips, because of the crunchiness that it will make, I will put kale, salt, salt it and a little bit of olive oil, put it in the oven for about 15-20 minutes and it will crisp up. And you can use that as a substitute as, rather than eating potato chips, you can eat kale chips and it gives you that same satisfaction of the saltiness and the crunchiness. So it's more, our focus should be more about nourishing our bodies and not starving ourselves. Next thing is sleep. So think about it. The last time you were very, very tired, were you craving something unhealthy or something healthy? Chances are you are craving something unhealthy. Sleep affects our body, it affects our GI system, it affects our hormones. So if you don't get enough sleep, chances are you're not going to make the right choices when it comes to nutrition. So getting at least the 8 hours is the recommended amount of sleep every night is also good. So practical things that we should all take away from this video is sleep matters. Let's stay hydrated. Include protein in our diets. Include fiber in our diets. Slow down when eating. Avoid distractions. Take time to enjoy each meal. Avoid skipping meals unless you are purposefully fasting. Eat every meal and incorporate all those healthy components of it, and always keep healthy snacks available. That way, whenever you're craving something, a healthy snack is within reach, and that helps make better choices. If you are struggling to overeat, just know that it's not always about willpower. It's about the type of meal we're eating, our daily habits, our environmental factors. All those things play a part. And if we can adjust just one component of it, I know that it will make a difference. Progress doesn't mean perfection. It's all about building habits that can last a longer time. I hope you found these tips helpful. If you are interested in any health content that I'm not covering, please put it down in the comments below and I will talk about it. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Comments and questions down in the notification. Share this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the support as always, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.